Get cozy and comfortable, dear young friends, as we embark on a thrilling adventure from ancient Greece. In a land of mythical creatures, brave heroes, and legendary quests, a young prince is about to take center stage. Inspired by the timeless Greek Odyssey, our tale is filled with excitement, courage, and wisdom. Let's begin our journey with Prince Telemachus, a story of growth, discovery, and heroism.
Prince Telemachus. In the previous episodes, we heard that Odysseus leaves behind his wife Penelope and his young son Telemachus when he heads to the Trojan War. 20 years have now passed, and Odysseus has not returned. Many suitors have come to ask for Penelope's hand in marriage. Telemachus is now grown up and upset with all the suitors who have assembled at his palace. The story continues. Around the great doorway of Odysseus's palace was a wide courtyard. The suitors, who were princes of neighbouring kingdoms, and some noblemen from Ithaca, were seated on rugs. The servants were busy nearby, some mixing water and wine, some cleaning the tables for the next meal, and the others preparing the meal in large quantities. The suitors were busy joking and laughing among themselves, and playing games to pass their time. They were tall, strong, and richly clad, and behaved as if they owned the palace. Telemachus, who was seated among them, gave them an annoyed look. He did not like their behaviour or the noise they made, but he could not turn them away, as they were guests at his palace. He may be the master of this house and the land surrounding it, but he sat sad and lonely amongst them. As usual, his thoughts went to his father, Odysseus. He wished that he would come home, take control of his lands, and chase away all these suitors who were nothing but a nuisance. He happened to glance out through the gateway and saw a stranger approaching him with a shield and spear. He quickly got up and welcomed the stranger. He took his hand and led him through the courtyard and past the suitors, who paused what they were doing and looked curiously at the visitor. They entered the large hall. Telemachus placed the stranger's spear on the well-worn rack, where some of Odysseus's spears still stood. He then sat the stranger a little distance away from where the suitors would sit when they came in for dinner, for he thought that the stranger would not appreciate the noise they would make. He also wanted to ask the stranger if he had met Odysseus at Troy or at any time after the war. A servant brought in a silver basin for them to wash their hands. Others brought in baskets of bread and meat and bowls of sweet wild honey. Rich wine was poured into golden goblets placed before them. Soon the other jolly princes came in and flung themselves onto their seats. They started to eat with gusto, and once done, called for some music. A musician was brought in, who played the harp and sang to them. In the midst of all the noise, Telemachus bent closer to the stranger and said, "Good stranger, you see these merry fellows who do nothing but eat, drink, and play silly games. Their presence is unwanted, but they consume my best food and wine. If my father were to come home, they would be in a hurry to run away from here, but alas, he is gone, and we have no news from him." He sighed, and setting aside his own affairs, continued, "Tell me your name. Which is the ship that you came from? I am sure that you did not come by foot. Have you heard about my father, or is this your first time in Ithaca?" The stranger smiled and answered, "My name is Mentor, and I am the chief of the Taphians. My people love the sea. I was on my way to Temis to buy some bronze. My ship carries iron and is anchored in the bay. I came ashore to meet Odysseus. All the other warriors who fought the Trojan War have returned home, and I am distressed to know that Odysseus has not. Surely the gods must be detaining him, or he would not have been delayed. Even if he were bound by chains, he would have found some way to slip them, for he is very cunning. But first tell me, are you his son? For you look very much like him." Telemachus nodded his head and answered, "Yes, I am indeed Odysseus' son." "Odysseus is blessed to have a son like you," said Mentor. "But who are all these people? Is this a wedding or a drinking competition? A man of sense would be annoyed by their heedless chatter and loud laughter. They are chiefs who rule the neighbouring kingdoms, and some noblemen from Ithaca, said Telemachus in an irritated tone. They have come here to marry my mother, and are forcing her to choose from one of them. She is afraid to confront them, and so delays her decision. If this continues, they will soon waste everything we have. Yes, I understand, nodded Mentor. Odysseus is needed here to chase away these men. I wish he would walk in now, with his helmet, spear, and shield, and give these useless men a good fright. The gods alone know when he will come, but the duty now rests upon your shoulders to drive these men away. Call a council meeting tomorrow, speak before the chiefs of your land, and express your desire to have these men gone from Ithaca. Then prepare 20 strong oarsmen and the best ship you have, and go and seek news of Odysseus. King Nestor of Pylos may have some news, or Menelaus from Lacedaemon, who was the last to return from Troy. If your father is known to be alive, then no matter how hard it is, wait for him for 1 more year. If he is not, then return to Ithaca and build a funeral pyre for him. Your mother may then marry whom she chooses, and you will be rid of the other suitors. Telemachus listened to him attentively, and thanked him profusely for his wisdom. They both looked disgustedly at the men laying around, some of who were quarrelling over a game of dice, and some others who had fallen asleep on the floor. Mentor then placed his hands on Telemachus' shoulders and said, "My boy, you are fair and tall. Now it is time for you to be strong, so that men in the future will speak well of you. Listen to what I say. Rely not on others, but on yourself." Mentor's words filled Telemachus with courage. He vowed to do exactly as he had advised. He watched as Mentor made his way back to his ship and thanked Athena, the goddess of wisdom, for he had keenly felt her presence that day. The end.
As we conclude the tale of Prince Telemachus, remember that courage and perseverance can lead us through even the most challenging journeys. Download the Storywaves app from Apple or Android app stores to explore more stories from the Greek Odyssey collection and cultures around the world. A Storywaves subscription costs less than $1 a month, making it one of the most affordable ways to bring quality stories to your family. All new stories are available on the Storywaves app, and the most exciting content is only available on the app. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow Storywaves on Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify for updates on upcoming content. Thank you warmly for watching.